Right, this is going to be a long one. Hello, this video is completely unscripted. All I'm going off is a cheap little list of notes that I made last night. There are a lot of points on it, and we're going to have to get to each one of them sooner or later. Other than that, here we are. This is a video that I'm making to commemorate, simply put, 10 years of the Kirbyster, 10 years of my time on YouTube. I thought I couldn't let this one pass by. All things considered, I'm not as dedicated to making videos as I always have been, but it didn't feel right to just let 10 entire years go by without like a little video celebrating the occasion. Now let me start right off the bat. You're probably thinking, it's impossible that it could have been 10 years. Look on the about page of the channel, this was only made in 2016. Well, that's true. But one thing that I've never publicly stated on this channel for some reason is that this is actually a second channel. The first channel, named The Kirbyster, which you're seeing on screen at the moment, was made on November 20th, 2013. It's a very long story. Basically, we are going to go through each of the 10 years from 2013 to now and see how the history of the Kirbysters progressed, because it does get quite interesting. There is a lot to say, and to try and make the video more coherent, because like I say, it's unscripted and that's new for me, I've put in title cards for sort of separating the video into 4 or 5 chapters. I'll try and stick to the years in those chapters as much as I can, which should be fairly simple, because it's a chronological history that I've lived through myself. So yeah, all that remains for me to say is let's begin. So speaking of sticking to the years in the chapters, I'm going to go back to 2012 before beginning 2013. Because essentially the Kirbyster began when I was, must have been 8. I'd been watching YouTube for a year or two at that point. And it had gotten to the point where I had clear inspirations for the kind of content that I enjoyed watching on YouTube at that age. Essentially, yes, it was gaming content. I was part of the in crowd at the time. Creators like Peanut Butter Gamer, Pro Jared, and most importantly, the Angry Video Game Nerd. I didn't have many games at the time. I think the collection in the entire house consisted of various Wii games and eventually some DS games. Going into 2013, at the beginning of 2013, all we had were just some Wii games and access to YouTube, and I watched a lot of it. It got to the point where all of these channels that I'd sort of been watching, even lesser known ones, even to this day, like CGS001, anyone ever heard of them? Gemini Laser, they all got to me, and I wanted to be I wanted to be a YouTuber that was like them, but different because of my age. I wanted to be like the Peanut Butter Gamer or Angry Video Game Nerd of this generation, and make content from this young age so that I would stand out. That would be like my main thing. It sounds stupid now, but essentially at the time, what I wanted to do was make game reviews. Monetization was never in sight. I'm going to say that multiple times in this video. I never intended to make videos for money. They were for fun. And at that young age, what can you expect? So for the majority of 2013, I had ideas bubbling of exactly how I would want to approach a YouTube channel of my own while continuing to watch, mainly, Peanut Butter Gamer and the Angry Video Game Nerd. In my mind, the AVGN, or Cinemassacre as a whole, got to me more as inspiration, as I know it did for a lot of people, because the Angry Video Game Nerd is a very big character, and he sort of pioneered gaming content. I was watching them around 10 years after they began making videos, and it still got to me as very, very entertaining, very clever. So it came to me that if I was to ever develop my own style of videos in a channel that I would make, it would be episodic, level-headed, well-edited, and consistent and episodic like the AVGN, with a sort of adapted humour of Peanut Butter Gamer, so I could combine my favourite creators and make a channel. In early November, I asked for my parents' permission, and although they were quite reluctant, my dad eventually came on board, and the Kirbyster channel was activated on YouTube November 20th, 2013. We immediately got to work creating a pilot, and what I'm going to do now is, because these original Kirbyster episodes are so important, I'm going to take a lot of time going through them individually before we get to the next years. Because when I say the Kirbyster, what I'm referring to is these 9 episodes. Without them, there would be no videos to follow. These 9 episodes are the purest, original first form of what I wanted the Kirbyster to be at that young age. So we're going to go through them one at a time. Like I said, we sort of got to work straight away, because only 2 days after the Kirbyster channel was made, the original Kirbyster channel, may I remind you, episode 1 was already completed. A 2-minute and 22, episode 1, the worst game I've ever played. And you're going to be seeing them all on screen as well. The inspiration for this one, the topic, the worst game I've ever played, is itself a Peanut Butter Gamer video. You can see the thumbnail for it on screen. The worst game I've ever played. For PBG, it was Hubert the Teddy Bear Winter Games on WiiWare. I wouldn't end up playing that game in particular until January 4th, 2020 on the Wii. Essentially, what was important about episode 1 was making the style that had been in my mind for months come off paper and actually look good on screen. So a lot of things were thought of very, very quickly, such as, it was going to be me sitting on my bed talking about games. Eventually we'll have to go down to the TV and record some stuff just by pointing the camera up at the TV. Nothing wrong with that. It's a tried and tested safe method of easily adding commentary to videos, and a lot of people did it for many years. There was no budget. I didn't have many games. I was using my dad's computer, using my dad's TV, using my dad's Windows Movie Maker 2.8 to quickly slap the video together. And although looking at it now, obviously, it isn't terrible. I've seen worse years later, and at the time, all I had to see was a title card, me, and gameplay, and I would think I was the next Angry Video Game Nerd. I'd think I was the next big thing. I loved it. Episode 1 went up very quickly. I did think that it was very short, but it felt a lot longer while I was making it. I think just because I was enjoying it so much. At the time that it was being uploaded, and I remember it well, I decided that I wasn't going to make custom thumbnails. I decided that I wasn't going to edit the videos too harshly. And I decided that I was going to try and go for 1 video a month on the Kirbyster channel. All of these episodes are re-uploaded and currently available on the Kirbyster Plays channel now. But I love it, and it was enough to put me sort of directly in the mindset for creating an episodic game review series. Did you know that I was also going to review books? If I went on past episode 9, I was going to go into the Beast Quest books. Like I was going to do Doom Skull, Crimin, I think it was. And because I didn't have enough games in the house at the time, I was actually going to go into books. Like there were the Hero Factory books as well and everything. And it was going to get to the point where book reviews outnumbered game reviews just because I had more books at the time, but it never got to that point. Anyway, moving on. Episode 2, which was uploaded on December 4th, the best game I'd ever played. I always thought it was weird that PBG uploaded a worst game I've ever played, but never strictly uploaded a best game he's ever played. So as an antithesis, I made, well, episode 2. This one was a bit longer than episode 1, but not by a lot. Maybe by under a minute. The game in question is Kirby's Epic Yarn. This is a game that you are going to see pop up lots. Because I absolutely loved this game. I was fairly new to the Kirby series at the time. I decided to make it my namesake because I'd never had a game series appear in my hands and have such a big effect on me. Because I loved the Kirby games. I'd only played Kirby's Epic Yarn at that time, but on YouTube I'd seen everyone talking about them, I'd seen boss videos, and I just loved the Kirby series so much. So I decided right before Christmas to make a video on Kirby's Epic Yarn, which was, at that time, the best game I'd ever played, and in the present day, my favourite game. Ever. No question about it. We took a different view on the... Well, quite literally, we took a different view on the filming of this video. Episode 1 was steady on a tripod in my room. This one, Dad decided to hold it, because Dad was acting as my cameraman for the first 4 videos, maybe 5, and then I took it completely alone. I personally prefer episode 1's filming style, so that's why we returned to it from episode 3, and that would become the standard going forward. Other than that, episode 2 was more of the same. You see, I wanted to get some sort of system in. The same way a lot of AVGen's videos are him talking, then gameplay, then critiquing. Mine, I also just wanted to make it the simple system. Me talking on the bed, gameplay being shown, and then me talking, and that's it. Because they were very easy to manage and create at that time, because I was still in full-time education, and I was very young and had no idea what I was doing. I didn't want to outstep my boundaries, and I just wanted to make something entertaining. And that's what I was doing. Episode 2 I remember not performing as well as the first. And I don't understand why that was, because in my mind it was longer, it had slightly more editing, it was on a better game. Why weren't people watching this? But in the end, yes, of course, views and money don't matter. Episode 3 is actually just the bloopers for episode 1 and 2. When it came to the inspiration that I was taking from other channels, what I could see was everyone always made a Christmas special to see out the year, because you could tell whichever episode came after the Christmas special was at the start of the next year, and that was a kind of consistency and the sort of episodic nature that I wanted with my series. But rather than reviewing something Christmassy, on episode 3, which released on December 22nd, 2013, me and my dad had been looking through a lot of bloopers that Dad had been recording while we were making episode 1 and 2, and that was enough to facilitate an entire 3rd episode. It's important to note that although I had this wide-spreading episodic series in mind, we didn't actually know how many we would make, because this was getting to the point where my dad thought I was too young to have a YouTube channel. So when it was just a Kirbyster episode trilogy, worst game I've ever played, best game I've ever played, and then bloopers of the 2 episodes before, not only was that rounding out the year, but that may have also been rounding out the channel. That wasn't the case. But looking back on it now, it's still a very entertaining, very cute trilogy of videos. January 2014 would go by without an upload, and I remember that going by just felt like hell. It felt so long, and all I wanted to do was make videos. What was important was that at the beginning of 2014 I was finding my footing after 3 episodes. For Christmas I had gotten a DS, and 2 games which I had wanted for absolutely years: Kirby Superstar Ultra and Kirby Mass Attack. This was enough to hold me over for months. When I was able to actually put down Kirby Superstar Ultra, I decided to make that the focus of the next Kirbyster video. So in early February, very, very early February, me and Dad decided to get to work making a return in episode 4. And episode 4 is Kirby Superstar Ultra. I decided to try something different with this one as well. Watching it now, you can see it begins with me just speaking and talking on the bed. We also had, I forgot to mention this, but we had external lighting. We had like a red lamp on my bedside table, and it was pointed at us, and with the blinds drawn, it makes the room look darker. But Kirby Superstar Ultra showed a sort of demand for more quality. I'd gone from that point of wanting to make videos. I still wanted to make them sort of for myself, but I also wanted to prove the extent of my talent. So what you'll see when watching episode 4 is a scene where I show HD downloaded gameplay of the game, because I didn't have a capture card. I just stole someone's Mark Soul video and pretended it was my own, and I tried to put my commentary over that. Now, I had no idea how to do that. I'm aware Vegas Pro 13 and a lot of other things were available at the time, but But you have to remember, when I was making this, I only had Windows Movie Maker and Dad's computer. So even in the final cut, the audio is behind the video. in that little gameplay segment that I record. But other than that, everything that features me on the bed, as normal, is perfectly fine. I love Kirby Superstar Ultra to death, and I think this video is probably a personal favourite. Episode 5 released on April 30th and was called The Problems with Kirby. Now this video is the shortest episode yet. 2 minutes and 2 seconds. The excuse that I use at the time is that there aren't a lot of problems with Kirby, but in reality this is an episode that I'd written a script for, that I prepared everything for, because you have to remember this is the last episode that I made with my dad's help, so I wanted to make it really decent. In this video I present 3 problems with the Kirby franchise, and actually, come to think of it, this is a video that no other game reviewer does. It doesn't focus on a single game. It looks at the Kirby series as a whole, and that was quite ambitious at the time. So what I do is I talk about one problem with the Kirby series, and then I go outside and show another one, then come back inside. It's a bit silly, but you know, all I can say is that this was the point where my filming and editing style was actually getting consistent. Episode 6 was uploaded on July 27th, 2014. The video is simply titled My Kirby Games, and I made it to commemorate 3 Kirby videos in a row, which would have been Kirby Superstar Ultra, The Problems with Kirby, and then that one, or Kirby's Epic Yarn, Avoiding the Bloopers, Kirby Superstar Ultra, The Problems with Kirby, and then that one. I wasn't really sure. The My Kirby Games episode shows a leap to 16:9 aspect ratio, or departing from 4:3 aspect ratio. That wouldn't be a permanent change, even at the time. So it's just different to see this video jump and then just to return to the other one. This video is exactly 10 minutes long, making it the longest Kirbyster episode by minutes. You have to remember, when I'm looking through my collection of games in this episode, Kirby Triple Deluxe was brand new, Kirby Planet Robobot had not come out yet, Kirby and the Rainbow Curse had not come out yet. So basically, Kirby DS games, unless you were rich and had a 3DS, were the extent of my collection. And it's so cute watching this now, because as well as talking about my Kirby games, I'm talking about the entire library I have, and I can fit it into like a 3-minute segment at the beginning of this episode. After going through my game library, I go through each of the Kirby games that I have, recording content from them in the way that I did in their respective episodes, and for Kirby games that I hadn't reviewed, I found a different way to record them. The exception in this episode is, of course, when I do the Kirby Superstar Ultra segment, because my dad decided to hold the camera down while I was playing on the DS, because we didn't know at the time how to record handheld stuff. It never came to us that the tripod we were using to record the bed segments could just be propped up against the bed and record footage from the DS. See, that kind of information didn't enter my head, and this is the result. Other than that, I just remember my Kirby games as being the longest episode. But moving swiftly on. Episode 7 was uploaded on August 22nd, 2014, and is the return of the worst game ever. Also known as the return of the worst game I've ever played. The worst game I've ever played was Episode 1, and I decided to return to it because Episode 1 was so short and there was a lot more about the game to say. Essentially, I thought that I'd gained a ton of knowledge, because you have to realise, Episode 1 was November 2013, we're now in August of the following year. So although there was some knowledge on editing to be gained, essentially what I just wanted was an ability to return to a game that I'd previously talked about and just speak about it a bit more. Episode 7 is important for another reason. It's the first episode to feature a persona of the Kirbyster, an enemy for him called Dark Kirbyster. Although it's by no means prevalent right now, at the time every YouTuber had some sort of alternate personality character. What comes to mind is the Completionist episode 100, where Gerard gets split into 2. There are also segments at the beginning of PBG videos where there are 2 or multiple of him. So I decided to have this dark Kirbyster character, which was just me on the other side of the room, taunting the Kirbyster character into playing the worst game he's ever played again. The worst game I've ever played in question, because I think it's fairly important to mention, is Horrid Henry Missions of Mischief on the Wii. I didn't know there was a DS port at the time, so when I'm talking about the worst game I've ever played, it's always the Wii port of Horrid Henry Missions of Mischief, and it's still a terrible game, and I still hate it. I'd only beaten a few levels when I was making these two videos. Now I've beaten all of it on the Wii and the DS. But at the time, I'd just done a few levels, and basically, and this is fairly poignant, it was an adaptation of a beloved children's show at the time, and I was unimpressed with how it didn't copy the source material, and how different it was. Looking back on it now, it's actually a fairly faithful game to the series, like with the music and the map and the characters and voice lines. There are things that they could have done better. It's absolutely now not the worst game I've ever played, but at the time it was, and that's why having an episodic series is so important, as well as showing the passage of time. At this point, when I was so young, when I had such a small library, that was the worst game I've ever played, and it's an important part of Kirbyster history now. Although this is the episode that I made closest to my birthday, it's actually episode 8, uploaded on September 30th, which is about stuff I got for my birthday. Although my Kirby games was about multiple games, and the problems with Kirby was about the franchise as a whole, stuff I got for my birthday is just about what games I got. There's no gameplay showed, but it's a very interesting video to watch. This is the Kirbyster episode with the most individual video clips recorded, because for my birthday I believe I got 3 games and a GBA. I just remember it being quite a lot to stitch together. At my age, because now we're at the point where I was making these videos entirely independently. Yes, that's right, I got a GBA, Pokemon Fire Red, Pokemon Ruby, Pokemon Emerald, and WarioWare DIY, as well as a Pokemon Great Ball. So yeah, I decided to make a video, essentially just what I got in my birthday in 2014, about a month after it happened. It was a fun little video to make. It was average length. We now move on to what is the finale of the Kirbyster Series 1. Super Smash Bros. Brawl, uploaded on November 13th, 2013, so it's been a full year. I made 9 Kirbyster videos in a full year. Only 10 days between November 13th and November 20th. Super Smash Bros. Brawl is a game that I had promised to review and upload for about 4 months. It was at like the end of all of my videos, like, oh, the Smash Bros. Brawl review is coming. What's funny about this video is that not only does Dark Kirbyster return, just for a bit, but I remember, and I'm showing the scene on screen at the moment, when I'm recording content for Smash Bros. Brawl off the TV, the same way I had done for every episode previously, I just draw a complete blank and have no idea what to say about it. Rather than write a script, and I'd only written 2 scripts before for the problems with Kirby and Kirby Superstar Ultra, I was just playing Smash Bros. Brawl while trying to concentrate on what I was saying, entirely by myself, and I just drew a complete blank. And I kept it in the video because what else was there to record? What else was there to say? So is Super Smash Bros. Brawl a dignified finale? And is it a proper display of what I'd learned in a year of making Kirbyster videos between 2013 and 2014? Absolutely not. But is it fun? Was it entertaining for me at the time to make and create? And is it something that I'm proud of? Because of my age, yes. Still. Also, all of the episodes that I've mentioned, 1 to 9, incredibly nostalgic, of course. So that's the overview of Season 1 of the Kirbyster. Episode 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. We're now going to go into the history of the Kirbyster, because this is where things take a change. Very shortly after Super Smash Bros. Brawl was uploaded, my parents finally came to me and said that I was too young to have a YouTube channel. Now, they'd been reluctant for the entire time that I'd had it, but this is when they thought, okay, you're too young. You're not even 13. You can't have a YouTube channel anymore. I try and convince them to keep the channel up. I say, hey, these are my videos. I made them for me. They're good. They're entertaining. They keep me busy. But they weren't having it. And honestly, I'm on their side nowadays. I too believe that I was too young at the time to be making content like this. But that was a goal. You know, I wanted to be like a young content creator that could stand alongside other big names at the time. Alas, what my dad did was he downloaded and then took down 7 of the 9 episodes of the Kirbyster. And if you go on the Kirbyster channel now, look up the Kirbyster, and the first channel you'll find is the one that I used in 2013. There's the test video, Rabby Rules, and then there are the 2 last episodes, the stuff I got for my birthday and Super Smash Bros. Brawl, episodes 8 and 9, with the original naming scheme TK, which was just the Kirbyster. The videos have a few hundred views at the time of recording now. Essentially what my parents did was, they wanted that the only way that they would let me keep making videos is if I uploaded 1 or 2 of them, and then deleted them and replaced them. I didn't want to do that. I wanted to have like a long episodic series like the Angry Video Game Nerd. But the way this gets a little bit interesting. Essentially, and this is the first time I'm actually saying it, my dad got rid of the email associated with the channel, but the channel remained, and the Kirbyster remained, so he could still use the email, but it was assigned to a different channel. I've tried absolutely years. I tried in 2016, I tried in 2022 to access this original Kirbyster channel again, but I just can't. It's scary, and there's no way of knowing like which email or anything was connected to the original Kirbyster channel. But essentially, in 2014, when my parents said no and pulled the plug, from that exact moment, the Kirbyster channel, there was no going back. I could not access it again. This channel is lost to time. In the last few months of 2014, I got to terms with the fact that I no longer had a YouTube channel. The Kirbyster as I knew it was gone. All I had was episode 8 and 9, and the rest of the videos were put on a disc. A silver disc, and in pink pen was written Kirbyster. My dad handed that to me and said, here you are, here are the 9 videos you made. Only 2 of them are on YouTube now, but here's a disc with all of the episodes on them so that they are archived forever. I said, oh, thank you. My parents should have known that I would never be content to disappear. Not on YouTube. I had a vision, and I wanted to see that through. So what I decided to do was continue forward with making videos against my parents' wishes. But I no longer had a channel to upload them to. Like I say, my dad somehow got rid of the login to the Kirbyster, but not the channel or the email. So what I did was, I continued to record footage and edit it together, but not do anything with it, so that I would just have a growing collection of content made by me, for me. The goal with these videos was that in the future, there was a hypothetical second Kirbyster channel, a new one that I would make when I was old enough. And what I was doing now was recording videos for it, so that when I would come to make this new Kirbyster channel, named Kirbyster Plays, I would have videos to upload to it. So what happens now? So November 2014 has passed, my channel was removed, or at least access to it was removed. December 2014 goes by without anything particular happening, and then in 2015, I decide to keep making videos. What I do is, on my dad's computer, which is still the only device I can use, I make a folder, and I say to my dad, I'm going to keep on making videos of one type or another, and I'm going to keep them in this folder for as long as they need to be, until I'm old enough to make a new channel that they can go on. Dad says, yeah, whatever. So I begin by, and you're seeing them on screen, I begin by making a Kirby's Adventure walkthrough. So what I do is I record a part 0 to the Kirby's Adventure walkthrough, basically explaining what it is, because I felt like I had to do that for some reason. And then throughout 2015, I continue to record the Kirby's Adventure walkthrough. I think there's something like 15 parts in the end. So I think every Saturday or Sunday morning I would just go down to the TV before anyone woke up, prop up the camera, and play a bit more of the game. No editing at all, just upload a bit more, then do commentary over it. And when I was done, I would just get the parts of the Kirby's Adventure walkthrough, and I'd edit them a little bit, like maybe put some text on them, and then I would just keep them in this folder. And this folder was called Kirbyster Plays, which is the username of this channel. I knew, even back in 2014 and 15, that I was going to make a new Kirbyster channel in the future, called Kirbyster Plays. It was going to be my grand return. My parents couldn't stop me, and when that day came, I would have a full Kirby's Adventure walkthrough to upload to it, and I couldn't wait to see that become a reality. But it doesn't stop with Kirby's Adventure. No, I make more videos just for me, by me, to put in this folder for a hypothetical second channel when I didn't even know when that was going to happen. What I do after making the Kirby's Adventure walkthrough is that I make videos on separate WiiWare games, like Paint Splash and that racing game. I can't remember what it was called. But what's important about these videos is they show the first recorded use of the name Kirbyster Plays. And what this shows is intent. Because it wouldn't be several years until I was able to upload to a channel named Kirbyster Plays. But I had it in my mind, I wanted to do that.
Okay, I got really bored one day and downloaded a bunch of demos off the Wii Shop channel. And now I'm gonna do a series where I play them, test them out, do some stuff. Hello, this time Kirbyster Plays Hydro Venture demo.
Like, the Kirbyster wasn't enough. I knew I was too young, but I didn't want to be too young. I wanted to make YouTube videos. So although I have nothing to show for it online, I can't prove to you that 2015, 16 or anything was actually that important, because like there were no videos uploaded during that time. But let me tell you, that it was probably more important than 2013, because I was just recording so much for the future, looking forward. 2015 goes by without a single video uploaded to any channel, and yet there was still a folder with more videos than I had ever recorded. And that's the entirety of the year. 2016. This is a big one. At this point, it's been at least 14 months since I've uploaded to YouTube. I'm all too familiar with recording a video, but I still yearn to upload one to YouTube. 2016 is a year which is important because of what happened not only in its last month, but in its final day. In 2016, I reached the point where I was old enough to have my own device with which I could access YouTube, but was still too young by a few years to make a YouTube channel. The device in question was a Huddle 2 tablet from Tesco's. My parents allowed me to have it at the age of, well, it must have been 11. But I wasn't able to make a new Kirbyster channel, of course, because I was still too young to have a channel. And this resulted in the creation of a new personal account titled My Birth Name. Although no content was uploaded to this channel for the time, this was the channel that I would have used to subscribe to things, to watch things, the same way that I would have done with the original Kirbyster channel, which was still inaccessible, and still is to this day. There's no change. But essentially I would use this new personal account to use YouTube, to watch the channels that I had been, to watch new content, and to upload to Google+. Although my parents said that I was too young to use YouTube, I found a loophole, and that was Google+. Let me tell you, I absolutely loved Google+. Oh my god, I would post to it daily. And I wish you could see it. This is the kind of video where I needed to have that Google Plus stuff archived. And technically I do. Jumping forward to 2018, or 19, whenever Google Plus got taken down, they gave you like a window to download all of your data. I missed that, and you'll see why when we get to 2018 or 19. But I was gutted. Now all I've got is the pictures that I uploaded to Google Plus, but any text that I wrote, any messages that I sent, that's all lost to time. That's just an attribute of Google Plus being taken down, which is a shame. But basically, Google Plus was enough to hold me over making YouTube videos and uploading YouTube videos. So the rate at which I prepare content for a hypothetical second channel slows in 2016 as well. Until October 2016. Now things start getting real. Pokemon Sun and Moon are coming out in a month. So what I decided to do is return to Pokemon X. Pokemon X and Y were the newest mainline Pokemon games at the time. I was given a copy of Pokemon X, which is still one of the best presents I've ever received, but I never played it. I played all the way through Pokemon Y like 6 times, but I was keeping X separate, because my next walkthrough was going to be the Pokemon X Kirby Lock. Now, there is a lot to this. Essentially what a Kirby Lock is, it combines the rules of a Nuzlocke with a Wonderlock with some elements of a randomizer. Let me actually get up a part of the Kirby Lock, which has now been uploaded to YouTube because I've made this channel. Let me get up a part of it and let me tell you what the rules of the Kirby Lock were. It's important to mention now, although these videos have been and gone on this channel, at the time I was still just recording them. Even as late as 2017, I was just recording videos for me. These were all still going in the same folder for archived content for a hypothetical second channel. The rules for a Kirby Lock were, on Route 1, Part 1 of the walkthrough, I would catch 5 Pokemon, which would likely be like fletchlings and things like that, so that I would have a full team of 6 Pokemon, including my starter. I would then Wonder Trade all 6 of them off, and whatever team of 6 I ended up with was what I had to go with for the rest of the game. However, every new area I enter, I need to catch a new Pokemon and Wonder Trade it off straight away. And I can now choose to replace one of my team members with the Pokemon that I had just Wonder Traded off. Faints don't mean anything, although eventually I decide to make it so that like if a Pokemon faints I can't use them again. Healing items can only be used if I was absolutely sure that I needed to use them. If I get something really crap from Wonder Trade like a Magikarp, then I have to keep Wonder Trading until I get something decent, and that's the rule which makes all of the parts so long. If I get a Pokemon with a foreign nickname like in Japanese or something like that and I can't understand it, then I Wonder Trade until I get something in English. Nicknamed Pokemon that I get from Wonder Trade with nicknames that I consider inappropriate, I release the Pokemon and then Wonder Trade again, that's okay. I don't have to use my starter, I decide to, but I could have Wonder Traded that off as well. And rules are flexible. Rule 10 is just to have fun. Now you see, this is my own idea. This is something that no one had done before. In the same way that the Kirbyster Series 1 was a mix of old entertainment like Angry Video Game Nerd and new content like Peanut Butter Gamer, the Kirby Lock was a mix of Nuzlocke and Wonderlock. It was to create my own new style. It's much the same. So I see 2016 out having recorded Kirby Lock Part 1, Part 2 and Part 3. Part 3 of which is over an hour long, making it the longest video I've made until probably this one. What's different about these parts is that they're actually edited properly. Although I can still only afford to have my camera pointing down at my 3DS screen, that is a tried and tested, safe, true method for recording content. What makes part 3 so fun as well is that I actually get a shiny Pokemon. Completely unscripted, completely unknown, I actually get a shiny Litleo, which I love.
Whoa, is that shiny? I think we might have just gotten a shiny Litleo. Wait, emergency temporal shift. I'm gonna go back to Lumio City, get out of the Pokemon Center and see. I think we might have just gotten a shiny, guys. Okay, I just went and got out of the PC. Let's see. Moment of truth. Was it shiny? because it wasn't brown, it was a lighter brown. Was it shiny? Come on, please, Litleo. We just one traded and got a shiny Litleo. Oh my god. You know what shiny Litleo means? When we level it up, we have a shiny Pyroar.
But the main, most important thing is that I knew that 2017 was going to be different. So what I do, as one of the last things I actually do in the calendar year 2016, is I go on YouTube and I make a channel. And I call it Kirbyster Plays, hence the creation date of this channel, 31st of December 2016. I thought if I was stockpiling all of this content to upload onto a hypothetical channel, why not have a hypothetical channel to upload it for? So although I made the Kirbyster Plays channel in December 2016, I don't start uploading to it right away. I leave that to 2017. We now move into 2017, and this is the year that I wanted change. I was a teenager, and I was technically old enough to have a YouTube channel. It had been 3 long years since 2014, and I wanted to upload again. But 2017 is very much a year of two halves. The first half is still recording content by me for me and making it for a hypothetical second channel named Kirbyster Plays. I can't stress this enough. I was desperate to upload all of this content because I still had, at the very, very bottom of this folder, the Kirby's Adventure walkthrough that I had made and prepared in the immediate aftermath of the original Kirbyster channel. And it was in the same folder as videos that I'd been recording that week. They all had to go somewhere. I mean, it was getting unbearable. So what I do is I record many, many more parts of the Pokemon X Kirby log. It basically becomes my flagship series. And then we get to July 2017. In July, I finally get some degree of permission to return to YouTube. Now, I was still very young, so I wanted to be very careful. But I was still just so childlike, I thought, oh my god, I've got all of this content, I've been recording it for ages, I've just got to get it on there. So what I do is, to test and see if YouTube was still something that I wanted to do, I upload videos onto my personal account. They're no longer there. If you go on my personal account now, all you'll find is CITV continuity videos. It's a different kind of worms. I'll get to it eventually. And then it all comes down to the Kirbyster Plays channel. It had been resting there now for half a year. And on July 16th, 2017, I upload a video to YouTube again. But it's not gameplay. I begin Kirbyster Plays on the wrong foot by uploading a clip from Pokemon X, Y, and Z, the anime, and get a copyright claim. For some reason, when I began the Kirbyster Plays channel in 2017, began uploading to it, despite having bucket loads of pre-recorded content which I'd made for just this channel, I decide to upload new videos first. So what I do is, after uploading that clip from Pokemon X, Y, and Z, I then upload a Mario 64 Chaos Edition video. And this is an important benchmark. I was finally gone were the days of pointing my camera at TV screens and DS's and just talking over it. This video, which is now private, showed OBS footage of a proper HD crystal clear recorded game. That is an elevation of content. That is me finding a brand new style, and I loved it. And now we come to the first video which is on this channel right now. Pokemon crystals glitching and hacking. Now, this is a video that I'd made sometime in 2015 after recording the Kirby's Adventure walkthrough. And you could tell that because it's edited on Movie Maker 2.6. And in 2017 they'd upgraded that to Live Movie Maker. What's important to mention is that I was no longer using my dad's computer. No. I had my own laptop now, which gave me a lot more creative freedom. And that's why, the game recording was so much more professional looking. That's why I was editing now with Vegas Pro 13, or starting to transition to it. So it would be a while until anyone watching these knew I was able to edit with Vegas Pro 13, because so much content that I was uploading was pre-recorded, made with Movie Maker 2.6, or 2.8, whichever it was. So, Crystal glitching and hacking, 4 minutes and 38 seconds. This is just me experimenting on an emulator with a ROM of Pokemon Crystal, which I would go on to own in person. It was fun to make. It was different because it didn't have any sort of commentary on it, but I decided to upload it anyway. And that is the newest video on the channel at the moment that isn't privated. After that, I make a quick channel trailer which is privated, and then begin uploading the Kirby's Adventure walkthrough to YouTube at last, and the feeling of relief I just cannot describe. For many years I had this full walkthrough recorded and edited in a folder for a hypothetical second channel, and that moment had finally come to pass. 17th of July 2017, I upload the introduction part 0 video that I made and part 1 of Kirby's Adventure. And what I decided to do is, with my upload schedule, is I will release a part of Kirby's Adventure, then a part of the Pokemon X Kirby Lock, pre-recorded as well, remember. Then upload a part of Kirby's Adventure, then a part of the Kirby Lock, part of Adventure, part of Kirby Lock. And that would go on until the Kirby's Adventure walkthrough ended, because the Pokemon X Kirby Lock would eventually have more parts than the Adventure one, and I would just have to go on uploading it by itself. It takes a full week until the 21st of July, when something happens that I can't believe I have to describe to you. It's a well-known fact that despite all of the content that I was creating for Kirbyster Plays, there were still only 9 episodes of the Kirbyster. And when I made a new channel, I decided to let that fact go to my head. I thought, okay, I'm uploading walkthroughs, and I'm uploading new kinds of gaming content. So why don't I continue the episodes of the Kirbyster, make a season 2, and keep it going? Starting with episode 10, and going as long as I want. It sounds good in theory, right? Because when I was 9 or whenever, the original Kirbyster channel became inaccessible to me. All I wanted to do was just keep on making more episodes and episodes. I wanted a long episodic series to look back on. So I think, okay, I'll upload new episodes of the Kirbyster. I'll make brand new episodes, linear episodes. They'll be great. So as well as uploading Kirby's Adventure and the Pokemon X Kirby Lock, I decide to make the infamous Kirbyster episode 10, Wario Land 4. The shame. It's clear to me now that making linear Kirbyster episodes is a skill I only had when I was like half my age. Episode 10 was wildly different. I didn't want to just return to me being on a bed and talking, then showing gameplay, then talking again. That worked, and I used that method for a year. But I decided for episode 10 to do something different. It's fuzzy, it's the same camera that I'd been using for half a decade, and it's just awful. So episode 10 was privated and deleted for good, just as quick as it had gone up in the first place. But I don't stop there. Kirbyster episode 11, the worst game I've ever played, part 3. This one actually got the most views of any Kirbyster episode. Basically it is just a part 3. It's me returning to Horrid Henry Missions of Mischief again. This video shows the return of Dark Kirbyster. It shows me playing the Wii version again and then finding the DS version and talking about that as well. Now, it's time to answer the big question. Because you may be looking at my Kirbyster Plays channel right now and thinking, what am I talking about? None of the videos that I've mentioned this year, and none of the videos that I will mention, are still up. It's important to note that the Kirbyster Plays channel has changed a lot, which is why I'm showing screen caps of as much as I can to keep this consistent, but it is important to note I did private a lot of this, and I will get to why, but to condense it into one word: cringe. There's no getting past it. It was just cringe. Episode 11 of the Kirbyster is a sort of return to form after whatever the hell episode 10 was. But I still don't like it very much. I upload a Pokemon TCG opening video of an Arcanine break box. I get a few EXs, but it isn't worth it. It just isn't worth it. It's too low quality. It's too blurry. But I didn't have any money to get a new camera. I didn't have a webcam or anything. So there was nothing I could do. This is when things get different. Now, I want to keep the Kirby's Adventure walkthrough up. I wanted to because that was content that I made at the time of Kirbyster episode 1 to 9. It was still true content. It was still what I wanted to do. It had that charm that the early Kirbyster has because it was recorded directly after. But when I got to part 7 or 8 of the Kirby's Adventure walkthrough, I realised that some of the parts were missing. I hadn't archived and recorded all of the walkthrough the same way that I thought I had. Luckily, what I wanted to do was chop up the best bits of every Kirby's Adventure part and make it into one highlights reel, the same way that a YouTube channel like Psycho might, with a Fire Red Nuzlocke. He did highlight reels. I wanted to do that with my Kirby's Adventure walkthrough, and I'm very lucky that I did, because parts 7 and 8 were completely lost, but the highlights from those parts still existed in the video that I was making for the highlights. So what I do is I cut out the highlights from part 7 and 8 from the highlights video, call them the original 7 and 8, and upload those as parts of the walkthrough. So I go from having like 10, 12-minute parts to having like a 1 minute and 2 minute part 7 and 8. What the hell's going on? And to make matters worse, years later, I would actually find Kirby's Adventure walkthrough on a disc, 2 discs, that my dad also made for me. I can't remember him giving them to me, but now what I've got is, quite literally in my hand, I've got the full part 7, 8, whatever they were, but on YouTube there are just the highlight reels. So I would have to download the highlight reels to keep them, and then download them from YouTube, and then find a way to retroactively upload the full-length parts. It got messy. And it got really messy. I thought this is content that I'd had in the folder for years. I thought it was all ready to upload. I try my hand at live streaming. In August 3rd, 2017, I do a live stream of Kirby's Dream Land. This is also quite an important benchmark, not as important as the Mario 64 video was, but it shows my first attempt to live stream. The only problem is, it doesn't seem to be in the audio. It's a 40-minute video of Kirby's Dream Land, and it's just me sitting there playing it. I mean, that's not content. I don't say a word, because this is the same problem that I had with Kirbyster episode 4 when I was recording commentary for the gameplay I showed in that. I didn't know how to get a mic to work. I don't know why it took me so long. I still struggle with it today. But I just decided to upload a live stream of Kirby's Dream Land without any talking at all. More uploads go by, and as you can see, it gets fairly consistent. Adventure x Kirby Lock, Adventure x Kirby Lock, and that's how it went for quite a long time. I do upload some one-offs, like a 30 sub special. This was the time when Kirbyster Plays surpassed the subscriber count of the original Kirbyster channel. I decided to record a Pokemon Black randomizer, and for that I go back to camera onto DS, recording content without any streaming software, the same way that I had done before. I was sort of above doing that now, but I just couldn't help myself but return to it. This is important. I returned to making episodic Kirbyster episodes again. I don't know why I think I could still do it. There's a reason why I'd stopped, but I decided to upload the Kirbyster episode 13, Animal Crossing Wild World. Now, when I say episode 10 and 11 were different, I decided to it's hard to explain, man. The episodes were no longer me talking on a bed, showing gameplay, and then talking again, because this episode of the Kirbyster was just gameplay of Animal Crossing Wild World trailers that I found online, and me speaking over them for countless hours. Building upon a town in which you have no ownership of, working for some criminally insane That's not like the channels that had inspired me. Angry Video Game Nerd, Peanut Butter Gamer would never do that. This was what we call laziness. I also begin a walkthrough of the lesser-known game Yume Nikki, and the same way that I'd made highlights for the Kirby's Adventure walkthrough, I decided to just make highlights the entire walkthrough. So Yume Nikki Highlights Part 1 goes up on 13th of August 2017. As you can tell, I'm sort of uploading 2 or 3 videos a day, because I have like 3 years of pre-recorded content, and I just want to get it out there as quick as possible. Now this is important. Not all of the content that I was pre-recording in 2015 and 16 was me pointing a camera at a screen and doing commentary. I was also making some content on Movie Maker with text and pictures and music, like top 5 scariest Nintendo bosses. A lot of people were doing this, and I decided to just make a few of these videos, and then I forgot that they existed. But I decided to upload this anyway. Actually, in the description it says I did this in 2014. So I must have made that video while recording the original Kirbyster series, or make it in the immediate aftermath. So even then, this video would predate the Kirby's Adventure walkthrough. But it goes up and it gets 70 views, and I private it with the rest. Again, I'll get to why these are all privated in a second. I revisit my 5-year-old Diamond file. I continue to upload the PowerPoint videos, like 5 favourite boss battles. And then I continue on with the Kirbyster. But this episode 14 and 15 is a 2-part review of Pokemon Sun and Moon. But the reason why I'm not going through these the same way I did with episode 1 to 9 is because I don't consider these to be Kirbyster episodes. The Kirbyster is me sitting on a bed talking about games, then showing gameplay of said games, then critiquing it. What these Season 2 episodes are, double-digit episodes, it's just videos online that I've downloaded and then I talk over them. There's no formula. Island Kahuna, a particularly powerful trainer, which is maybe a bit of a challenge, but if you know what you're doing, it's not that hard. They're easier to make, yes, but they're also so much lazier. The reason why the Yume Nikki walkthrough is privated is because the audio in part 4 was despicable. It was buzzy, it was weird, because I was trying to make a mic. You can't blame me for trying. I was trying to make a mic work, and it didn't. Another Kirbyster episode, episode 16, Big Bang Mini, just more videos with me talking over them. I wasn't even showing my face anymore. At least with Worst Game I've Ever Played, part 3, I'd show my face. I wasn't even doing that anymore. Another PowerPoint video, top 5 easiest final bosses, which is a very strange topic to do. And then after the finale of the Yume Nikki walkthrough, I decided to start a walkthrough of the next mainline game after Kirby's Adventure, the next console mainline Kirby game, Kirby Superstar. Now I had this on the Wii Virtual Console, but I knew I was above just recording a TV screen and talking over it. So I finally get the perfect balance, a mic that works, and streaming with a window on OBS. I get it all worked out, and I do a Kirby Superstar walkthrough, which was like something that you would see on another inspiration of mine, PBG Gameplay. See, having videos and talking over them is something I should save for gameplay videos, not mainline Kirbyster episodes. Kirbyster episodes should always feature me. But I don't think I realised that, and that's why the style of episode changed so much. In my mind to this day, there are still only 9 Kirbyster episodes. I want to make that clear. I've disowned all of the episodes that I'm showing now, but I'll get to why I private them in the future. So I upload a lot of Kirby Superstar parts. They're fine, I suppose. I even use a face cam in 1 or 2 of them, which is probably why they're privated now. On the 9th of September 2017, just as a little reminder, we're on the Pokemon X Kirby Lock, part 24. Because I was still recording and editing the Pokemon X Kirby Lock consistently while uploading content that had been made previously. And then over the summer holidays, just imagine I was making shit new Kirbyster episodes, a Kirby Superstar walkthrough, and new episodes of the Pokemon X Kirby Lock. All at once and then uploading them. I mean, it's good to have a flow of content like that. It's healthy. But no one was viewing them. And all of the things that I just mentioned there, new Kirbyster episodes, Superstar walkthrough, and X Kirby Lock, these are episodes that I was making new. What happened to all of the content that I previously recorded? I had 3 years of content to upload. Why wasn't I uploading it? So, in September 2017, I upload 2 videos that I'd made in 2015, around the time of the Kirby's Adventure walkthrough when it was first being released. The We Today and Tomorrow channel, part 1 and part 2. Can't say fairer than that. It gave me a break from uploading new videos as well. And then, I decided I wanted to re-upload the Kirbyster episodes part 1 and 9. Sure, 8 and 9 were on the original Kirbyster channel. They're the only 2 episodes on there. But I realised, I was like, oh my god, I'm old enough to have a YouTube channel now. I can upload all of these Kirbyster videos and they can stay up there. Quick, where's the disc? Where's the disc with the pink Kirbyster writing on it? I can't find it. And that's when I realised that the Kirbyster episodes that I went through at the start of the video, they had been missing for 3 years. I realised that I hadn't actually watched them since they were first taken down, since the first Kirbyster channel became inaccessible to me. I didn't know where they were. So while I keep releasing content, I'm like, where the hell are these things? And then one day when I was at school, my dad texts me and says, hey, between 2 Elvis DVDs on my DVD shelf, I found a DVD called Kirbyster. Do you want me to get rid of it? And I say, no, keep it. And I look through it, and yes, sure enough, it has all of the original 9, 2013 to 14 episodes of the Kirbyster. I'm like, yes. So I put them through Movie Maker and upscale them. But there was sort of no point in that because YouTube seemed to downscale them anyway. And then, starting on the 18th of September 2017, I add like a little title card at the start to show when it was originally uploaded, which is how I got that information for this video. And I re-upload Kirbyster episode 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 and 9. And you can still see them on this channel today. It's actually after uploading these first 9 episodes that I make episode 10. Because I thought that there were 10 original episodes, but that we now know that there were only 9. It ends with Super Smash Bros. Brawl. But I had it in my mind that there were 10. We've spoken about episode 10. It's terrible. I'm not even going to talk about it again. After the original 9 Kirbyster episodes are back online, the world is at peace. So I get in the mood to upload other pre-recorded content the way that young me would have wanted to. So I upload a video that I made in 2015 of me going through the Cave Story demo. And then I go back to my old ways of making new content and just avoiding the pre-recorded stuff again. I go through Who Wants to Be a Millionaire on the Game Boy and DS. I don't know. I don't know. What's important is Who Wants to Be a Millionaire on the DS Part 1, uploaded on November 11th, 2017, is my first video to pass 1,000 views. That's interesting. This is the driving game that I was talking about before on WiiWare, Fast Racing League demo. Again, recorded in 2015 and uploaded in 2017. This is pre-recorded content at its finest. Videos that I prepared for a hypothetical Kirbyster Plays channel, which mention the name Kirbyster Plays, finally being uploaded when Kirbyster Plays becomes a thing. Another pre-recorded video of me going through the Hydro Adventure demo. These videos, pre-recorded, are the ones that are most likely to be made public again. And maybe to mark the occasion of 10 years of the Kirbyster, I have actually unlisted or made public these videos. Another pre-recorded video, Paint Splash Gnomes demo. I just prefer content that I'd recorded in 2015. I just prefer it so much more than new content because there was passion. I didn't know how many years in the future I was going to have a new channel. So I keep my style consistent with the original Kirbyster episodes, not knowing that they were going to go missing and then be found. This is when a sort of new era begins, because we've been in 2017 for a while now, but it's nearing its end. November 2017, I do a walkthrough of Five Nights at Freddy's 3. But I don't just use an app to record Five Nights at Freddy's 3 on a tablet. I download a Huddle 2 emulator, then go on that tablet emulator and buy FNAF 3 on the Play Store, and then record that with OBS. Now, Five Nights at Freddy's 3 is a PC game. Why did I have to download a tablet and play the app? Whatever. Basically, it goes wrong, and after part 4 of Five Nights at Freddy's 3, I quit. I quit playing that walkthrough, and I make them private even at the time. This is the start of a new era. December 2017. Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon. Pokemon Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon are on the way, and I want to make content to mark the occasion. So I make a top 5 new Pokemon added for Ultra Sun. How to use US Assembly, Stack Attacker. My team for Sun and Moon, what that was. And then I upload a video of the cries of all the new Pokemon they add in Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon. It's 16 seconds long. 17,000 views. This is still my most popular video. Why was I spending so many years making content when my most popular viewed video by a lot was just going to be a video of Pokemon cries? It's so weird. I make a few more videos on Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon, and then go back to making shitty Kirbyster episodes. So here's episode 17. I cheat. To my credit, I realised that the Kirbyster style for linear episodes had gone completely off the rails, and from episode 17 I decided to return to me on a bed talking, and then pointing a camera at some games, and then it sort of returns to some sort of familiar style. Not really. I then make a Kirbyster episode on Terminator games, make a video on a new recording setup. That's a walk down memory lane because my room has changed a lot since then. I then make a video on why I gave up on the Five Nights at Freddy's 3 walkthrough. We are now into February 2018. I then realised that even though the new Kirbyster episodes that I've been making for a year were terrible, they weren't even related to Kirby anymore. So for Kirbyster episodes 19, 20 and 21, I do Triple Deluxe, Planet Robobot and Squeak Squad. Okay? And that's a decent idea. I mean, it's back to me on the bed talking. The reason why these are privated is because of cringe. Although I'm on the bed, I don't like the way I look. You know, you can say what you want about the original Kirbyster episodes. What it comes down to is you're bullying a 9-year-old child. You can't apply that same logic to these ones. How old was I? 13, 14. I just didn't like the way I looked. I continue to make new Kirbyster episodes, and that's all I do for quite a while. I go on to make one on Electronic Tiger Games, the same way the AVGN did a video on Electronic Tiger Games, so I have to. I just found a Tiger game at a car boot sale. That's about it. Pokemon X Kirby Lock Part 27. It's still going. And technically, that's the newest part. I never completed the Pokemon X Kirby Lock. Because, I mean, the run failed. Spoilers, I die. I die in Victory Road right before the Elite Four. So at some point in the future, I need to go back and complete that. Because I give myself another go at beating the Elite Four, and then I fail again. So I do need to return to that and make another part of the Pokemon X Kirby Lock. But it wouldn't make any sense to now because the rest of it is private. Simple as that. Oh my god, we're up to Kirbyster episode 27? There were only 9. I made 9 in a year. And now I've made like 18 in however many months. You see, it was just wrong. Kirby's Pinball Land is a very, very strange checkpoint. It's the last time I number an episode. Now, why on earth would I stop numbering Kirbyster episodes? I don't know. Pinball Land is also very important because it has the fuzziest camera of any video ever. So these have all been private for various reasons. I'll get into why. I'm doing this chronologically, okay? Late 2018. Now, Kirby's Epic Yarn. Best game I've ever played. Remember that? Back in 2013, I made a video, best game I've ever played, Kirby's Epic Yarn, and I still love it.
So I'm going to make sure when I talk about the best game I'd ever played, I'm going to talk about it for a reasonable amount of time, which is Kirby's Epic Yarn for the Wii.
In late 2018, when I now have a new channel, it's like they know. Kirby's Epic Yarn gets a remake on the 3DS. And I couldn't believe it. I make a 7-minute video the day of the Direct, September 14th, 2018. And I say, oh my god, Kirby's Epic Yarn is back. I can't believe it. It's like old Kirbyster gets one Kirby's Epic Yarn game, and new Kirbyster gets another one. I make videos on Kirby's Epic Yarn independently for a month or so. We thought originally Kirby's Epic Yarn was only going to be on new Nintendo 3DS systems, so I make a news video saying, nope, all 3DS systems support it, and that got like 300 views, I don't know why. Oh, and then I'm back to recording the TV, and I'm adding moon jump codes to Kirby's Epic Yarn. Is it entertaining? Yeah. Is it fun? Yeah. Does it make a good video? No. This is 2018, I'm getting a bit too old to be doing videos like this. At this point, I had sort of run out of pre-recorded content. I was uploading so many videos that I got rid of 3 years of videos that I'd recorded. I'd burnt through them in like a year. And then after those Moon Jump Kirby's Epic Yarn videos, I do commemorate 5 years of the Kirbyster. On the 6th of November 2018, I record 5 parts, 5 years of the Kirbyster. I make like a 5-episode mini-series. Each one explains a different thing. Episode 1, how I began. Episode 2, games that I was reviewing. Episode 3, games I'll never have. Interesting. Episode 4 is how my setup and recording has changed. And episode 5 is cancelled episodes. There are no cancelled episodes. If there were, I would have told you. This is a comprehensive video of how every year is important. There were no cancelled episodes, so I don't know what I was talking about then. Those videos were privated as well because of my appearance. Oh, I was wrong. Pokemon X Kirby Lock Part 28. That must be the new attempt that I gave myself before dying again. We go back to making videos about Kirby's Epic Yarn. The demo comes out on February 13th, 2019. So I play that. And then I make another video because I record. Yes, I'm recording from the same TV that I made the original Kirby's Epic Yarn video on. I'm recording that same TV and I'm playing Kirby's Epic Yarn the moment it goes midnight on the day that Kirby's Extra Epic Yarn, the remake, comes out. That was a very good thing for me to do, and I'm glad I did that. And then I make another video saying my copy of Kirby's Epic Yarn arrives. I make 3 more episodes of the Kirbyster, episodes 31 and 32. I think I deleted some of these because there's no way we've been through that many. I'm not honing on them because you know my opinion of them. I make 2 more Kirbyster episodes on Super Mario Galaxy 3, the ROM hack. And then, in 2019, I stop. The YouTube channel that I'd been yearning for however many years had become a nightmare. It hit me. It must have done overnight. I was looking back at all of these new Kirbyster episodes, episode 12, 17, 24, doesn't matter. I was looking back on them, I was realising, oh no, these are really low effort. I was looking at Five Nights at Freddy's 3, the walkthrough I gave up on, that people were watching, and I thought, oh no. And I was looking at the Superstar walkthrough and I was thinking, oh god, the mic quality, the microphone sound quality is actually really bad. And I was like, oh no, I've got to stop. In real life as well, GCSEs were coming up, and I thought if I was too focused on making videos, blah blah, I wasn't able to study and do exams. Yeah. I uploaded the last video, that Super Mario Galaxy 3 part, June 12th, 2019. And I ghost the channel. The second half of 2019, not a single video goes by. Although I didn't have pre-recorded content, the hiatus hit me while I was in the middle of recording something. I'm not sure if I ever would have recorded it anyway, and the video is now missing. So, although I made a video on cancelled Kirbyster episodes, there actually wasn't one until after I'd uploaded that video. It was going to be a video on Galactonite, and creating this video got frustrated. Galactonite is a Kirby character who is recurring, but has only appeared in like 2 or 3 videos. Who has only appeared in like 2 or 3 games. And I was making a video on him, and while I was recording that, Kirby decided to use Galactonite in their new game again. So I was like, fine, okay, let me go and record everything again. And then they use Galactonite again while I'm making that same video, and I'm like, forget it. And I don't upload it. Because then they sort of retire the Galactonite character and then have Morpho Knight. And then even as late as this year with Kirby's Return to Dreamland Deluxe, they have Galactonite again. I don't know what I'm showing on screen at the moment, but that video on Galactonite and Morpho Knight, it exists somewhere, but I have no idea. It's incomplete. But what's important about this is that there is a watermark in the corner and a banner, and in the middle of that banner is the video. And this video that I was creating in 2019, that provided the template for how I would make all of the videos from 2022 onwards. Watermark in the corner, a banner around the edge, and footage in there. So although this video on Galactonite was never uploaded, never completed and outdated, it was basically dead on arrival, it lives on. Because it had a very professional layout. I did like it. 2020. Not a single video goes by. 2021. Not a single video goes by. This is a hiatus the likes of which I'd never seen before. This is longer than the hiatus my parents forced me to make in late 2014 when they said I was too young. Unlike the first break between Kirbyster and Kirbyster Plays when I was pre-recording content and making a lot of it, in this hiatus from 2019 to 2022, I wasn't making anything. This really was a break in the truest form of the word. In 2019, I would have been, 15, something like that. And I decide, you know what? These videos are very low effort. I'm going to take a break until I am an adult. And I do. Because I don't record another video until late August 2022. And that is this current run of the channel. I upload how many? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 YouTube shorts. YouTube shorts. Each one is about a various theory on Five Nights at Freddy's. So gaming related, easy to make, but that kind of quality is excusable. All of these are still up, they're all perfectly fine. And they get views. They get hundreds of views. That's when I think, I remember this channel. Maybe I should make one more video now that I am an adult, just to dip my toe in and see what I think. But things have got to change first. I look back on the Kirbyster channel, I scroll right back down to the start. I look on the Kirby's Adventure walkthrough, and I think, those missing parts really mess up everything. I mean, I know I have the normal parts now, but I can't be having that walkthrough up there. I take it down. Pokemon X Kirby Lock. I look through some of the parts. Cringe. I take it all down. I look through all of the new Kirbyster videos that I'd made. I think to myself, what the flipping hell was I thinking? I private them all and I take them all down. I even look at the pre-recorded Kirbyster Plays videos of WiiWare games that I was making. And I'm like, I don't state explicitly that these videos are pre-recorded. People are going to think that I'm not above making this kind of quality in the modern day. And I take them all down. Essentially, I go through and I reduce the Kirbyster channel from like 300 videos to 10. The Pokemon Crystal hacking video, Kirbyster episodes 1 to 9, the Sun and Moon Cries video with 17,000 views that I'd mentioned before. And then there were 2 videos that I made around the time I was doing that Stack Attacker guide. Do you remember that? Late 2017, I made 2 videos. One on how to get Howlucha early in Sun and Moon, and one on shiny locked Pokemon in Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon. Although the mic quality was bad, these videos were informative. They weren't cringy and gaming related. They served their purpose, so I decided to keep them up. And for a while, I was happy. Was finally happy. Years I'd just been looking at Kirbyster Plays and seeing low effort, cringe content that was wrong in one way or another. And at last I was thinking, it's so liberating. All of the content now is just gone. From the public eye, it's all just gone. And that explains now, when you look at Kirbyster Plays, this explains why all of the videos I've mentioned have gone. Apart from the videos that matter. Kirbyster episodes 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 and 9. As well as the 10 YouTube shorts I made. And then I think to myself, okay, yeah, fine. I'll make one more video now that the slate has been wiped as clean as it can be. And I make a video solving every mystery in Five Nights at Freddy's 4. I upload that on September 8th, 2022. I know that this is all recent history now, but it's just as important as old history. And that video goes up, and at the time it becomes my most viewed video. Other than the Pokemon Cries video, the most popular video that I made. And although that I've technically only made these videos for myself now, because I've shown that when I try to make videos for entertainment they get too cringe. Now that I'm making these videos by myself, the views get to me a certain amount. And I decided to make a second video. Halloween Ends was coming up. Very popular movie, so I try and predict the plot. I get some of it right, I get some of it not right. And I think, okay, 2 videos, that's enough. Oh, the Mario movie's coming out? Okay, let me just make a tiny little video talking about the trailer. Okay, that's it. What I failed to mention is in 2020, a franchise came upon me which had just about the same effect as the Kirby series did, and it happened just as quickly, and that was the Bayonetta franchise. Back in 2013, I found Kirby, I played one game, and within months I was making videos of it. It was my name of the channel, it was everything to me. And in 2020, just before the first lockdown when I bought a Wii U, I find out about Bayonetta. I buy Bayonetta 1 and 2 for about a tenner on the Wii U, and I play through them all. Absolutely love it. Absolutely love it. And in 2020, I start watching a Bayonetta YouTuber, a modern day inspiration, the same way AVGN and PBG were in the beginning. This is a Bayonetta creator called Rakan. The next video after the Mario movie one is an interview with Rakan, because in October it was a very turbulent time for the Bayonetta community. Bayonetta 3 was about to come out after, what was it, like a 7-year wait? Something like that. The wait was as long as recording episode 9 of the original Kirbyster in 2014 to October 2022. It was just amazing. It was a very excited time. We were all getting ready to play the new Bayonetta 3 game, so I get in contact with the Rakan Bayonetta YouTuber, and I actually interview him. It was just so nice. This is still one of my favourite videos I've ever made. It was so nice to meet him. He's a lovely guy. And I upload that, and it becomes, again, my most popular video. I would love to be able to do something like this again. I didn't know that interviewing was going to be for me. And I obviously had no idea that I was actually going to be able to talk to like a creator that had inspired me. But I did. And the next video kept the Bayonetta theme. Because the game came out, I got very sick at the time. So even though I pre-ordered Bayonetta 3, I had to avoid spoilers for about a week. And then I played all the way through it. And then I uploaded a review. Now, what makes this video different to the linear Kirbyster episodes that I tried to recreate? This one is just videos with me talking over them. The same way that I took the piss out of myself episode 11 and onwards in the original Kirbyster for doing that. This isn't trying to masquerade as a linear Kirbyster episode, okay? I abandoned that naming scheme. The dream was dead, okay? I tried it so many times. I wasn't going to make linear game reviews anymore. What this Bayonetta 3 review was, it's a 40-minute video, me going through the whole game, because obviously, like, there's so much you can say about it. And that video sees out 2022. And that's when we get to 2023. Remember that solving every mysteries in FNAF 4 video that I made as my grand return after a massive 3-year hiatus? I decided, okay, it didn't actually solve every mystery in FNAF 4, I need to make a part 2, and I did, and it did very well as well. A new FNAF Funko statue comes out, okay, I'll make a video on that. You see, I don't ever put myself under pressure. I think that's what was doing me in before. I didn't have any pre-recorded content to go off, and the thing is, like, these videos were getting way more views than anything I ever made in 2017, 18 or 19. It's almost like, oh, people don't want to watch crap, low quality videos when you actually put in a bit of effort. When you pay for editing software and you have like stock music and editing and things that aren't just cutting things together with a crap mic, people actually like them. It blew my mind. The next video, again, keeping the Bayonetta theme, Bayonetta Origins was about to come out, so I made a video on when that takes place in the timeline, and I was 100% correct. Then, another very important Kirbyster remake comes out. Now, I couldn't stress earlier how important Kirby's Extra Epic Yarn was. I made so many videos on that, I went through them, and it hurts that they're now all privated and all gone, but I have to do that because they're just so poor quality. I don't want those sort of things to represent me. But similarly, Kirby game which is just as important and nostalgic to me, Kirby's Return to Dreamland, got a remake on the Switch. And I didn't want to make the same mistake I did before when Epic Yarn got a remake. I didn't want to burn myself out, make tons of low quality videos, make tons of moon jump hack videos. I decided to condense all of my excitement, all of my expectations, my reviews and critiques of Kirby's Return to Dreamland Deluxe into one video. 41 minutes. Kirby Magolor's Mask, 3rd of March 2023. So that's about a fortnight after the game comes out. I then make some videos on the Game Poppy Playtime, as well as releasing some shorts of anything I upload on my TikTok. Did I mention that? I didn't. I have a TikTok. And for as long as I was making YouTube shorts, so late August 2022, I was uploading videos simultaneously on my TikTok, which went under my personal name, and this channel, as a way to sort of link the two. So videos like Return to the Greatest Bootleg Shop Ever. Things like that. They exist on YouTube and on TikTok, and in almost every case, they have tens of thousands of more views on TikTok, and I'm not joking about that. I make a video in April about Full Moon Features, which is a movie company. Now, that's important. This name, the channel Kirbyster Plays, the gaming focus exists like on name alone. I could get rid of the plays in Kirbyster Plays and it would be exactly the same. Because this Full Moon Productions video and the Halloween Ends video that I made, the October the year before, they're not gaming related at all. And now, in this new modern age, I found a formula, I found a way, like I had a watermark, and I found a new way to make videos. It worked and I could talk about whatever I wanted. And this Full Moon Features video signifies the second copyright claim I'd ever gotten. As late as May 2023, I decided to make some more videos on the Garten of Banban series. I decided to make some more theory videos on the Garten of Banban series. I love them. And at the time of recording, they are doing very, very well. I like that. I also decided to make, this is my most recent video, a Solving FNAF 4's Reversed Phone Calls, the finale of the Solving Every Mystery in FNAF 4 trilogy. I've managed to finally do it. And it's performing very, 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 very well. I like it. At the time of recording this, because it's the 8th of June for me, that's the newest video I've made. I'm recording this video ahead of time, because in November, I will be away, I will be busy, and I will be doing many, many important things. And this is a very long video that I'm going to have to make, and now I'm going to edit it. And I won't have that time in November, so I'm making it now. I have managed to take us up to the present day. And I'm very, very proud that I've been able to do that. At the time of recording, if you want to be specific, the most recent video went up yesterday. It was a YouTube short on my ROM hack collection. June 2023. I even dated it. I want to be able to only upload videos when I am absolutely impressed with their quality. I want to have a sort of Kirbyster seal of quality, literally, so that we can avoid whatever disaster 2018 and 2019 was, and so that in the future I don't have to go through my channel and private everything again, because truth be told, although the second half of 2017 and 2018 and 19, although they sucked ass, there were hundreds of man hours editing and recording in that, and it was fun entertainment for me, but I just can't have that kind of content on YouTube, on my channel. So I only want to make videos in the future when I know I will have the time to give them proper nurturing, proper editing, proper everything. Because at the time of recording this, my return, my triumphant grand return in August 2022 is almost a year old. So I've made, I think it comes out to like a video a month, maybe a bit less than that, is what it comes out to. And oh my gosh, something that I forgot to talk about is a subscriber count. Okay, new chapter. Between 2013 and 2014, the original Kirbyster channel managed to get about 33 subscribers. Although monetization now relies on views, remember, I am not about monetization. I make these videos for entertainment. I need like 10 times the amount of views I've gained in the last 8, 9, 10 years in order to get monetized. But yes, although monetization is view focused, I always thought it was all about the subscribers, and I only got 30 of them in the original, inaccessible, still up, linked in the description, the Kirbyster channel. When I made proper edited videos in August 2022, I started getting legitimate reach, an actual audience, and I hit 1,000 subs at some point. I don't remember it happening, but as I made more content, like as I'm posting this, I believe in the near future I could hit 2,000 subscribers, and that's incredible. And it's also a comfortable number. I want to sort of stunt a subscriber count's growth because I don't want to get burnt out. I don't want to make videos I'm not proud of. I feel like this is a good place to sort of stop. Not forever, but I need to be very careful what I do in the future. So I'm going to return to that question: what will I be doing in the future? Not as much as I have been. Okay, that's your answer. Not because of anything in particular. I'm not going to go on hiatus. I can do without a third hiatus. What I'm going to do is, and this is actually an idea that came to me while I was talking about it earlier in the video, I'm going to stitch together all of the Kirby's Adventure parts into one long playthrough video. And instead of having the highlight reels for those missing parts, I'm going to get the actual parts full length for the first time ever seen online. I'm going to get them off the discs. I'm going to put them all into Vegas Pro. I'm going to make one really long video of the full Kirby's Adventure playthrough and upload that. How's that sound? That's a good idea. Pre-recorded content. And then I'm going to get all of those WiiWare game videos I made today and tomorrow channel. Fast Racing League and a Miracle of Sinners, if I actually ended up making a review of that. I'm going to stitch them all together. And I'm going to release the Kirbyster Plays Legacy Collection. And I'm going to upload that as well as part of the 10th anniversary celebrations. In fact, oh my gosh, there are a few months before this video comes out. I might have already done that. In fact, I know I would have already done that, possibly. So yes, essentially, 2023 is a celebration. Late 2023 is a celebration of the Kirbyster. No looking around it. It just is. I'm very proud of my legacy. I'm very proud of the videos that I've made since August 2022. I just wish it wasn't such a headache to get here. I haven't mentioned my personal account in this video at all. because that's a different story. It's time to wrap up. Thank you for 10 years. Nobody, not one person has been here since 2013, and I can guarantee that. Only me. I'll see you again. Don't know when it'll be. I don't know when it'll be. Hello. It is now November 13th, 2023, and that means that the 10-year anniversary of the Kirbyster episode 1 is now only a week away, and I just rewatched the entire video that you just saw up to this point, and it came to me, why am I uploading a complete history that ends in June? You know, I was thinking through how exactly to update the complete history that you just saw. First, I thought I would do a supplementary video from June to now, and then I thought I can do an unlisted video in the description of the complete history, catching up on July, August, September, October, November, but then who would watch that, you know? I wasn't exactly sure how much I would post or what the landscape looked like when I was recording the video that you've just seen, but now I do, and I made a plan almost right away as I was editing it. What ended up happening was one of the biggest operations I've ever done. It was basically 10-year anniversary celebrations across the entire year. So I thought it was important that I don't overthink what I do, and instead of making a separate video or uploading a complete history that ends months before the actual 10-year anniversary, I can just continue talking and make an actual complete history video, like the title says. So I am literally just going to continue exactly where we left off. Firstly, I'm not exactly sure why the last 10 or so minutes of this video was so melodramatic. Like, I was going to terminate the channel and never upload again. I don't know what I was going through in June, but I can assure you now that the actual anniversary is just around the corner, I have a much more positive outlook. One of the main big updates since then is that I am now in uni, so I need to sort of make sure that I don't talk too loud and my roommates don't get annoyed, but you know, they'll be cool. I'm pretty sure the walls here are quite thick. So I'm just seeing that when the previous segment ended, my most recent video was the ROM hack collection, which means that everything that you just heard the previous hour and a half was recorded on June 8th. And that's actually a very good point. Okay, so the next video I uploaded after that was like a week afterwards. It was the part 4 of the bootleg. It was one of my TikToks that I reposted as a YouTube short. It amassed 3 views and it's now privated. And this marks a weirdly huge turn in the content that I decided to make. I stopped re-uploading TikToks as YouTube shorts. They just didn't get any attention. They were really quite pathetic. Some of them got tons of views. Like, I think in the top 10 of videos, if you collate YouTube shorts and actual videos of length into one category, some of my most popular videos are YouTube shorts, but there was just a string of TikToks that were being re-uploaded here as shorts that weren't getting any views at all, and this was the last straw. I just decided not to do any more on their own, as we'll see. So this is when I decided to spring the 10-year anniversary celebrations into motion. The idea that I formed about 15 minutes ago in this video, I decided to put forward almost straight away. I decided not to wait until November, and what I did was, it was a huge operation searching discs and drives and downloading private videos and things, but I decided to make multiple complete collections. And that began obviously with Kirby's Adventure. So imagine that it is late 2014, you've just seen the Kirbyster episode 9, and directly after that, the big break between the Kirbyster and Stephen Whittier, the personal channel, begins. I just put all of the parts of Kirby's Adventure into one video. It was 2 hours 40 in the end, and I, at some point between June 14th and June 23rd of this year, create that complete collection. I put in little title cards between the parts, and now, finally, some parts here only exist in their entirety in that video, even when they were uploaded before. As you saw, I would have spoken about it about an hour ago. the actual parts when they were uploaded separately were only clip collections, but in this they have their complete length. They're here in their entirety, and you can only find them in that collection. So I was very stern with that. I was very eager to get that out quickly. But I waited until I created the other collections to begin actually uploading them. A collection here that I didn't actually always plan on making was the partially lost Mario Brothers walkthrough. But on further investigation, I found that all of the parts of the Mario Brothers walkthrough are still missing, apart from the playthrough. And this is again something that I mentioned earlier in this video. I found the hour-long Mario Brothers pseudo live stream that I did at some point in 2014 or 15, and I tried converting it. I tried opening it in different video programs and things, and it only really worked in VLC, and it only worked for like the first half an hour. So I made a lot of information cards in this collection, the next one, the Mario Brothers partially recovered footage complete collection, or incomplete collection, as the case may be. I made a lot more information cards discerning what content is still missing, what can be viewed. So this right here is a collection between the Kirby's Adventure walkthrough and the next one, which is the WiiWare Demos collection. It's still really good to have because it is a piece of history. It shows me finally leaving Kirby content and moving towards something else. And from what is there, it is still incredibly nostalgic and sentimental, and it's something that the world has never been able to see before. It hasn't existed on any channel, so I was very eager to get this out there as well. So the way that the release windows went was that on June 23rd, it was always going to be June 23rd, I upload the Kirby's Adventure walkthrough, and then whenever the Super Mario collection was made, because it wasn't always planned, I would then upload that straight away. So that ended up going up on June 29th, and then, now I remember, I was going to do Kirby's Adventure on June 23rd, and then the WiiWare demo complete collection a week later on June 30th. And the Mario Bros idea came to me during the week, and I decided to upload that just before it's too late to get them in chronological order, because the collections, as they're posted, Kirby's Adventure, Mario Bros, WiiWare, and the Kirby Lock, they're in chronological order. And I got the Mario Brothers collection video out there just in time. The archive footage of the live stream got there within 12 hours of the WiiWare video, which was up previously as a premiere, getting out, so that all worked out. On June 30th, at 8 in the morning, the WiiWare game demo collection went out as planned. This one was the most straightforward to make, and it is also, not counting the Mario Brothers partial live stream, it is also the shortest collection. It's an hour long. This consists of not only the actual WiiWare demos themselves, but of the Wii Today and Tomorrow channel two-parter, which came out in 2017 fairly early on. That was also in the video previously when we were looking forward at the initial videos uploaded to Kirbyster Plays. So again, this is just a very good part of history to get out, very simple to make, and it makes for quite easy viewing as well. Now this is where something quite interesting comes into play. I obviously began creating the complete collection for Pokemon X in the knowledge that part 10 was missing. It still is, but I thought it would be as simple as putting these parts together, part 1 to 28, and then just uploading that as the biggest collection. It would be the biggest video I'd ever posted by far, but it was not that simple in the end, because YouTube has, and I didn't realize this until the video was fully rendered, they have a limit on upload length. It's 12 hours now. I knew that the Kirby Lock collection would take some time, so I decided to set a preliminary date of July 14th, so like 2 weeks after the previous collection, the WiiWare one, came out, because I knew it would take some time to work. I almost ended up missing that, but I came to a solution pretty quickly. Basically, I split the Pokemon X Kirby Lock in two, because if I split it at just before 12 hours, that meant part 1 would be 11 hours and 50, and then the next part would be 1. So I decided to split it in the middle, so part 1 is 7 hours, part 2 is 5 hours. And sure enough, it works fine, but there were a lot of information cards that I had to make. I was trying again and again to try and get it to work, and then obviously because when they were both one part and it was nearly 14 hours long, it was 96.6 gigabytes, and that is the biggest single video I've ever made. But with the new information cards to explain why it's in two parts that I had to make in the collections, because obviously this video isn't out yet, they ended up being separately 100 gigabytes in total. So it is quite large, and it was physically a huge operation, because once the parts were together, it took days to render, and it took multiple attempts. Something would always go wrong, like the laptop would run out of battery, or it would say something was corrupted, because I remember one instance was that the external drive, because there was literally not enough internal storage to have all of the parts hosted on my PC at once. The drive went to sleep during the night while it was rendering, and the whole thing corrupted after like 15 hours. It was a nightmare. But it ended up working eventually. I think it was after just trying and trying to render it over and over again. It did end up working out, and both parts went up half an hour apart at 8 and half 8 on July 14th as planned, which was fantastic. So they are all of the complete collections, the massive archive of pretty much every Kirbyster video that has existed between the Kirbyster and Kirbyster Plays, with a massive part of the 10th anniversary. This is a huge storage of knowledge in just these 5 videos here, and I was really proud when I finally got all of them done. But yes, that's the story with those. But I wasn't done with July 14th, apparently. I decided to make a little video of every Kirbyster Plays video. This was made on a whim, and I made this in one night. This was also greatly inspired by a video that was the main inspiration. It was when Jerry Anderson died, and the channel Chris Dalek made a video of all of the Jerry Anderson shows and episodes that he'd done. I decided to make that, covering the last 10 years, in terms of all the Kirbyster videos I'd made. There was no new information. I just made it because this video wasn't out at the time. It also didn't amass a massive amount of views. It wasn't very well performing, and it's also outdated, and it was outdated within a week. So I decided to unlist it. It did get some comments, including some from my dad, which was quite nice. That's never happened before, not since 2013, I don't think. But yeah, the part is down now. It was an afternoon's work. It was quite well made. If I ever tried to do something like that again, I would have to be certain I wasn't uploading again for a while, so we can have some integrity of actually being every Kirbyster Plays video for at least a while. But I would also need a reason to make it. Then it came to me that instead of making separate YouTube shorts for every video that was terribly performing, I would just put all of the TikToks from my account from February to July into one video, and it's basically it's a TikTok compilation, and that did fairly well. Not fantastic, but all right for what it is. I would go on to make another one of those, and at the time that is my most recent video, but we will come to that. Then I realised that because I had just made within the month my last FNAF 4 theory of the trilogy, which currently is my second most viewed video of all time, not counting shorts, and I realised that a large part of that was the reversed phone call Easter egg from within the game. It doesn't exist on its own as a video on YouTube, so I decided to post it. It only has a few views. It doesn't have any narration, but it has some text that I added. So I decided to put that out there because it's something that I wanted people to hear. Now, I know it's quite hypocritical, but I believe that in late July, it was sort of the start of a new era, because although it was all too familiar how my videos are being made, I am really impressed with how some of the following videos are made, and there's only 4 of them, actually, really, not including the second TikTok compilation. There's only been 4 since, and that's since July. So I can see why I was doubting making an update like this, but I decided to for the greater good. Carved. Now, over the summer, I decided to watch a lot of movies, and I decided to watch mainly horror movies, and I watched a lot of them. And one that was sort of greatly influential was one called Carved. I can't explain it better than I did in the video, and I feel like the reason why I'm so impressed with why and how this one is made is because I made it the same day I watched the movie for the very first time with no previous knowledge. Because a lot of horror movies don't scare me. I do enjoy them, but Carved made me realise that being unnerved is so much more terrifying than actually being scared up front, like in FNAF. So, Carved, the video covers Carved Part 1 and 2, because they're the only ones that really exist outside of Japan. I'm just really happy with how that video made. The response was fantastic, and this is probably my favourite video of the year, if I had to pick, other than this one, of course. I can actually announce for the first time that I was going to make a part 2 to this one, because there was new knowledge that came out. Like, there was a Kuchisake owner butchered that pronunciation, but there was a comic about them, there were other movies, and a lot of this is about copyright and how carved movies, because there was like 8 of them, I believe. They were made by all different studios, and then I found movies that people had made, which just confirmed everything I said in this one. So the reason I didn't end up making a part 2 is because there was nothing else really to say, but if I ever did, I could see myself doing that. I absolutely can. I then decided to make another Ban theory. There were 2 at the time of the first part of this video, and I decided to make a third one. The response was awful. It was just in the run-up to Ban 4, so I did decide to make another one. It was a little one. I'm happy with how this one is made. I just wish the response was a bit better. Now, I may or may not have mentioned this before, but one of my hugest inspirations ever, for Kirbyster Plays specifically, is a channel called Todo Nintendos. They unfortunately stopped making videos and using that name many years ago, but I still watch their videos. And during a period in August, early August, where I was feeling particularly sentimental, I decided to make a video that copied their editing style. Because at the time, when I was watching their videos, I was like 9 and 10, but now I've actually reached a respectable editing level when compared to Todo Nintendo's videos, so I decided to make a tribute video to them. I unlisted it straight away. It was uploaded unlisted, because the link to it only exists in the comments section of a tweet they made, because I just wanted them to see this tribute, and because it was so different to the content that I make, I just wanted him to see it, and he did. He ended up responding. He ended up saying that he was so happy that his video still inspired people after so long and things like that. I have his response on screen at the moment. That was really good to see. So that video, it was made, it took a day, and it achieved its goal. And it will stay unlisted because of that. I'm going to get the top 2 videos out of the way. The one at the top is this video, but I'm going to take the one that you see on screen down, and then obviously re-upload it with this one, because it's an actual complete history. So the one up there is no longer an hour and a half, and there are a few more community notes I might have to change to make that a bit more accurate. But yes, the one up there you see is already premiering on November 20th. This one now will be. It's exactly the same video, just with this updated bit at the end, so the video is actually comprehensive, complete, and I can rest easy. The one below that, as well as the second TikTok compilation, I need to make a third one as well, and maybe a fourth even, because I made like 14 videos in a day once after a day trip to Great Yarmouth. There was tons of bootleg, it was fantastic. So I will make a third, possibly fourth one of them as well at some point. I will also say that I need to make a video on the FNAF movie. Much like the movie itself, that video has faced tons of delays, mainly because I can't record a video that's that long here, because then I probably will annoy my flatmates. But there are resources about on uni at home where I can actually properly divulge my thoughts on that movie, because obviously like, it's huge, I'm a massive FNAF fan. And after waiting, for so long and actually being able to see it, I need to make a proper video. That will probably come out at some point. I might decide in the end not to make one, but if I do, it will come out at some point, but it will be big. The last video here is one that I uploaded on September 2nd, and this video itself is a little bit special. It's called Free Ice Cream, and it is the last actual video, original video, that will be uploaded before the 10-year anniversary. Many video ideas have passed, but I decided to keep Free Ice Cream in the position that it's in. Basically, much like Carved, I decided to make a video on an old Flash game the same day I found out about it with no prior knowledge. Nothing in this world scares me more than that game, I am convinced. And this video goes into why. It's around 15 minutes long. The response was fantastic. And generally, making that video makes me feel like I never sort of really stopped. If I'd started in 2013 and just never had any hiatuses or breaks or anything, this is the kind of video that I would be making. And it just, I don't know, it made me feel so different, and it really deserves to sort of stay where it is. I'm just really proud of this one. So if Carved isn't my favourite of the year, Free Ice Cream is. And that now brings us up to today. That's all I had to say. There we are. Happy 10 years. November 20th.